an architect and urban planner, RPP. I graduated from the University of Toronto. My best professor was Hans Blumenfeld. During the energy crisis, OPEC 1974, he wrote a paper about the energy. There's no shortage of fuel in the world. He also looked at where's the best solar energy in the world. It happened to be in Texas, Arizona, places we got the oil, and Middle East. Sunshine all the time. Now in Canada, we got northern country, you know. We don't have much sunshine here. We have a lot of natural gas, etc. So the question is this: where's the best in globally to implement solar energy? In Canada, we need storage for the energy, solar energy to do, or supplement the energy from electricity, right? We still have now the way to solve the problem in Canada. The government should put their bigger royalties for the gas and the oil industry, not to have the consumer pay for it. Then the solar energy, that goes back to 19, I also had a...
So excuse me, is there like a proposal or a question to anybody?
Proposal, yes. Also, I got a job with NRC, National Research Council, in 1982 to study the solar energy of North America. $30,000 contract to study all the energy sources solar in North America.
Okay, but is there a proposal or a question? Because I'm sure a
The
lot of
question
people
is simply this: that how can we implement solar energy in Canada?
All right.
We've been trying this since 1982. It's not happening.
Well, thank you for the, anybody want to respond?
One roof at a time.
Thank you for your comments and your questions, and I can respond, but let's hear some more comments and questions. Jim.
Hi, my name is Jim Wilson. I have a small solar company in the Perry Sound area. I think that one of the questions that needed to be answered there was that in Germany, it's one of the most successful jurisdictions in the world for solar energy, have only 80% of the solar energy sunshine that we have in Ontario. And yet they're very successful. If they can be successful, we can be successful. Thank you for your efforts. We're going to make it work.
Let's wake up and we need some challenges to some of the things that have been said. I agree, I disagree. You guys aren't talking about this. Let's hear it. Yes.
My name is Grant Watt. I'm from Renewable Lots Canada. We're a solar installation company. And I guess one of the things that I would really push for is a timeline for us to know when we can go back to work. That gentleman who was talking about solar is not good in Ontario. If you were to ask all of my employees, I would say that they would say, yes it is, and they're very proud of the work that they've done. So I think what we really need to do is get the government to give us a timeline as to when the program will come back so we can keep people employed and working.
Great. Well, thank you. And something that somehow fell off of our statements about, we kept saying, but so-and-so is covering that. No backdating. That somehow nobody mentioned that word. It wasn't on our slides. No backdating. This temporary pause with an undetermined restart is intolerable.
I just wanted to add that it makes a lot of people who work in the industry very nervous. If this is the procedure that they have now, in 2 years, is everybody going to be laid off again for a 6-month period, and then 2 years again after that? Or are we going to have some kind of procedure that we know we can operate continuously?
That's a very valid comment, and I'm sorry, I meant to talk about the backdating. But that's essentially, in terms of the process, you're absolutely right. If people want to maintain their jobs, if we want factories to keep on running, first you need a steady flow of contracts to be released. People, projects have to go up. They can't wait for 6, 8 months, 12 months for a few to go up in a few pockets. Definitely agree with that. As was mentioned, essentially, This backdating policy is unacceptable, and this is something we're going to be asking the OPA to push back on. Is you can't, like I mentioned, my fancy television example, you can't get a phone call in the middle of the night 2 years later and be told that, by the way, we've changed the rules on you, we've changed your contract, and we need more money. So, yeah, thank you for your comment.
Just to respond, when we had our meeting with the Deputy Minister of Energy, we discussed the idea of an interim tranche so that we could break the logjam. This was not something they are contemplating. We believe that there needs to be an interim tranche because there are so many structural problems with the FIT contract that we don't see that the government can solve these problems in a short period of time. And therefore, we think there should be an interim period where the rates are agreed to fairly quickly. If the industry is comfortable with the rates that you saw tonight, we could move forward with that and put a time limit on the process and then start with FIT 2.0 with some of these structural problems resolved.
And Jacob here, I just want to chime in. It is unacceptable, and we do have to ask ourselves, what happened? How did that happen? If there was a FIT and microfit advisory panel that the OPA set up, and there was Kansas City representation and solar network representation, how did they go ahead and do that and we were all caught off guard? And the answer is because we put the government in charge instead of taking charge and saying, this is our industry, and we are going to say this is the way it's going to work. You want to create the jobs, you want to be a leader, you have to listen to the industry. We're an industry now. And it really is, I want to say, it is our fault. We want to blame the government, but it's our fault. We did not create a strong voice. We did not take charge. And then when this happened, how many people wrote to the newspapers? How many letters to the editor were there? Was there an op-ed saying, how could this happen? We're waiting for the government to take care of us, and then we get surprised when they don't, and when they do something that is detrimental to the whole industry. So I think this is a wake-up call that we have to not let anything like this happen again. And to your question from Watts Renewable, I forget your name. It is when you ask, is this going to happen again? Right? I think your answer has to be, no, it's not, because we're going to get involved and be a strong voice. And if you just say, is it going to happen? If you're asking the question, then the answer is yes, it's going to happen again. If you're saying no, we got to take action and take charge and make things happen so that it never happens again, then the answer is it won't happen.